Gents, welcome, my friends. This is, of course, your Wednesday night entertainment, the MRC show that never ends. And we are back. We are here under the lights of Abu Dhabi for round 10, believe it or not. And this is the Tier 3 Championship race where it could even be decided already this evening. We'll come to that and all the championship connotations, I'm sure, during qualifying. But before we do get into qualifying itself, it is an absolute pleasure to introduce my man with me this evening. He is the boss man, and that is all the introduction we need because that covers everything. It is Mr. Single Track, Mr. Martin Hills. Good evening.
Hello, Marky Poos. You all right?
Very good, mate. Very, very good. Well, I've got a drink, so I've got trying to. Hopefully, Tier 3 aren't going to kill my throat and my voice tonight.
Oh, what are you quaffing?
Well, what do you think?
Is it rum?
It is. Funnily enough,
very unusual for you. You should probably be sponsored by some type of rum company, but not too good a one.
No, it's best not.
Don't treat you too nicely.
Exactly.
I'm actually on the pre-Christmas food shopping delivery clear out of the fridge.
Oh, right, okay.
I discovered that there was a bottle of Jägermeister in my fridge that I think I've had since about 2017.
Okay, well, that'll be fresh and strong.
And it needed finishing because it had maybe, I don't know, 20% of the bottle left. So I've been drinking that, but then I realised it was a litre bottle. And I have to tell you, I'm now on to the last. I've got a shot glass of it in front of me, and that's the end of it. And I've done that this evening.
That's pretty good. I would take my hat off to you there. That is pretty good going, in fairness.
I don't know whether good's the right word. It could be. Who knows?
Well, let's just see how this evening goes. Then we'll make a judgment on that one.
We'll see whether we get the stream taken down.
Yeah, that one. That's the one. So qualifying, of course, 29 laps under the lights of Abu Dhabi, which has had a few track changes in recent years. 2021, which is where Dino's actually coming up to the first one now. Through 4, 5, and 6 is now a tighter hairpin going on to the first of the DRS straights. And then, of course, we've got one later on where turn 11, 12, and 13 is now a long sweeping hairpin. Which are now reduced the corners from 21 only down to 16. So actually not a lot of corners now on this track. I, for one, personally, I liked the old setup.
I missed that the left, right, left, left complex. I used to quite enjoy that. Used to be sort of was my specialist subject on the track, and I used to sort of be able to find a bit of time there. But I reckon they've deliberately taken it out just to make me less good.
Possibly.
Actually, no, let me rephrase that. More worse.
More worse.
I think that's correct English.
Yeah, me English not good. Oh, good yes. Not. Yes, that one. Good evening, Carl. Good evening, everybody watching. Don't forget to hit the like button, of course. As Gillette is set at 125 and immediately beaten by Dino. US drivers, so great to see Dino with us, and as well we have got in the Alpha Tauri this evening Mr. Valentine 94 in the Alpha Tauri and his first outing in MRC, so fingers crossed for him and hopefully he has a solid race this evening. Championship connotations, it can be won this evening. Would you like to take us through those connotations?
I would love to, in maybe a couple of minutes once I found them.
Okay, fair enough. We'll come back to that then. Sorry, dropped you in it. 23 dead enough. Already setting benchmark. Connor is out as well on track. I quite like the last sector. A little bit wider now, but not that wide, Connor. That was a little bit too wide. Under the infamous hotel, the Yas Viceroy Hotel, and he's bailed on that one after he invalidated. What is our Valentine doing? He has got a car ahead of him. Hopefully that car is going to move out of the way and not disrupt his lap time. Oh, it does. A little bit late maybe. And continuing on his way, last two corners, and what can he do on his opening run? Nice and easy out of the last corner and puts it in second with a 23.5. Great opener. Definitely want to keep
I have
our
now
eyes on.
found the information because I am that organised that I had it directly to hand about 1 minute after you asked for it.
Okay, let's go for it. Let's hear what we have in terms of what... is he out on track? He's not. What the Alpine of Wookie can do this evening.
Yeah, I mean, Wookie is the odds-on favourite. Basically, Wookie needs to... There's quite a few combinations here, but basically, if Wookie wins, Wookie wins. So, is everybody racing tonight? That's the other question, isn't it?
I think Airways was up there. Aldrich might have been up there. I'm not sure who else, actually.
We don't have RFC Danny, do we?
We don't.
And he's one of the title contenders, I think. Is he not?
I think he was, yeah. I don't have it to hand either, so I'm lucky.
Which means that Wookie doesn't have to beat him. In fact, RFC Danny is the only person who... Am I right in understanding this? This is I am questioning Anton here. This is his information. He's done these calculations, and they're all based on Danny.
Right.
So that may not be very useful if there are other people still in this fight, because basically, Danny, if he's not racing tonight, has put himself out of championship contention.
Wow, that's huge. Absolutely, he'll still be in the line for potential promotion of the season. Yeah, well, I know our Fabian was up there as well. Airways was. I think Avinash was at some point. It was Connor at different times of the season as well.
I'm going to quickly look up the actual championship standings because Anton, bless his heart, created a lovely little bit of a lovely little graphic for us to refer to, but it's basically irrelevant.
Okay, with Danny not being here. Let's have a look what can Jimmo do going around the final two corners. Sets it nicely, uses all the track and does a 24-1. Does improve by half a second up into 6th. Who is on a lap? Connor's having a second stab. Let's have a look what Stubelicious is doing. Going down the second of the DRS straights. Sets a purple middle sector for those around him. Alpine getting well out of the way. Nice clear track, not going to be hampered in any shape or form through the final part of the session. Aldrich Fabian's retired, and that's coming out of the pits. I think it is. So, the man potentially who had a shout at pole position, I mean, he still does. He still is at a very, very good banker, but he's not going to be able to contest it towards the end of this session as Stu pops it into 6th. So we're going to go for it.
Basically, we've got Wookie has a very commanding lead on this championship. Let's put it that way. So basically, RFC Danny, who is not racing tonight, which like you say is huge, is currently 83 points behind him. Now, there's obviously 3 races left after this one.
Yes,
that's right, isn't it?
Yes.
So there are a maximum 100 points on the table, including this race, right?
Yep.
So the only way Wookie doesn't win this race tonight is by DNFing, pretty much, isn't it?
But it would then leave us 75. So
yeah,
with the 83 behind,
so doesn't matter what he does, he's won, isn't he?
In essence, yeah, he does. So just by being here, he has, and Danny not being here as well, that kind of cements that championship.
I mean, Connor is 94 points behind, so mathematically does still have a chance.
He does, yeah. So
if there's 100 points on the table, if he scores tonight and Wookie DNFs, then I think it carries on, right?
As long as there's max, I was going to say 75, but it's not. It's 78 points for fastest lap. Then yeah, they could potentially go down to the wire. Wookie sets a 23-1 in response to Aldrich Fabian's time. And speaking of Connor, how is he getting on his second run? We will do an onboard lap for you folks, so bear with us. We will catch one of the drivers starting a flying lap before the end of the session.
I'm just on board with Avinash. He's obviously going quite well so far this evening. He's on a run right now. Let's see whether he improves.
Yeah, he's been strong this season, hasn't he, Avinash? He got a bit unlucky. I think it was last time out.
Oh, he's going a lot quicker. He's 6.5 tenths up.
Wow, this could be really challenging. Wookie's potential second as it stands. I am going to cut back to him. He's behind Connor on track. So we'll see what Connor can do. Doesn't invalidate his lap and gets across the line at 23.5. Let's have a look at Avinash as he comes now down to the final corner. May have been put off a little bit by the Red Bull getting out of the way. But he does improve into 23.0 as well. Great lap.
That's a rapid lap from Avinash. So, did I miss Aldrich going out somewhere?
Yeah, he said he had a distraction coming out of the pits. He lost a tyre under the tunnel. Oh dear.
Oh yes, that's just popped up in the chat. I see that.
Yeah. Well, that's not ideal at
The
all.
usual distraction I have coming out of the pits here is the fact there's a freaking left-hand bend at the bottom of the hill, and it distracts me, and I drive into the wall.
Yeah, done that before. Yeah, definitely done that one.
It's like a magpie with a Twix wrapper in a hedge. I just can't stop looking at it.
Yeah, it's like me with a rum bottle. It's just like I've just gravitated towards. But let's have a look at Antox. We're going to go on an onboard lap with the Mercedes man. He will be one of the next to cross the line and start his lap. 5.281 kilometre circuit, or if you're in real money, 3.281 miles. 16 corners as we've mentioned, and now let's have a look on board with Antox down the start finish straight into turn 1. Easy to run wide, don't really want to do that. That curve can be treacherous coming back over it. Turn 2 flat out. Turn 3 seems to be a bit better profiling this game. Flat out again down the hill to turn 4. This is where you'd normally brake for the old circuit, but late about the 50 metre board to turn 5. Trying to get a really good exit, does just that onto the... It feels a lot longer this straight than it actually is. First at the DRS, wide open, he reaches over 200 miles an hour before a heavy braking just before the 100 metre board. There's his first gear to get the car turned. Easy to lose the rear on exit as well through turn 7, and the second DRS zone comes at you thick and fast. And the not so straight going down to the long turn 9, and this is the complex that we used to, well both of us, Martin especially, loved in previous layouts, and easy to lose the rear through traction, but does very well, and then flat out through turn 10, turn 11, slamming on the brakes for turn 12, a bit wider than it used to be. We've got a Red Bull, had to take a tight line through 13 and 14. It's kind of a long corner now, a bit wider than it used to be, a little bit off camber. 15 you can sometimes take, he does flat out in qualified mode, and then braking for the long and easy to lose the rear on turn 16, over the line at 24.6 for Antox. It's one of those laps and one of those circuits that the last sector especially comes at you thick and fast, doesn't it? It's all like third, fourth gear corners, if not a bit flat out.
Yeah, it's. I find the final sector of this extremely frustrating, to be honest with you. From turn 12 onwards, it just lacks flow. It doesn't flow at all. It's just on throttle, off camber, on throttle. It's weird. I don't find it a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is frustrating. Exactly that. You're on and off throttle. You want to have that gradual application of throttle, and as soon as you're trying to do that, you're off it again. As you were saying, there's not necessarily braking zones. It's just off again to get the car turned and get the front right into the corner and keeping that stability and the heat in the tyres that you can lose through the early part of the lap. And that is the tricky part, especially on heavy fuel. And if you've got a car that understeers a little bit as well, you're going to find it a bit of a battle for the evening.
You are. It's part of the track where you can find a lot of time. Speaking of which, Wookie is finding time right now. He is just coming up towards the... Yeah, he's in Sector 3 now.
About level.
Yeah, so unless he can do something special in here, this lap's not enough.
Yeah, we'll have a look, and of course, this will be his final run. Ooh, runs a little bit wide, and that's another one about off camber. You really want to get the throttle down, but you just feel like you can't quite get there. What's he do outside the final corner? And he gets the 23.0, does improve, but not enough to beat Fabian.
It's tight at the top, isn't it?
Certainly is. Ooh, Connor clipped the curb on his outlap, nearly did a Hulkenberg. It was nearly upside down. Evening, Mr. Dennison. Aldrich thinks he could start.
Exactly the same thing.
Yeah, Fabian thinks he could start top 3. Well, yeah, potentially, but this is another one, like a lot of the tracks that we go to, and especially tracks at night. The evolution is huge as the rubber goes down.
Yeah, I've started not going out until 5 minutes into each session. So
yeah, I've started doing that.
Tail end of, yeah, just so you're on the tail end of the track evolution all the time. So that, you know, if you're doing your first run as everyone's doing their finished their first run, then you've got optimum track conditions for your first run and so on, and then literally trying to get out of the pits and cross the line just before the seconds tick down.
Yeah, that's a hard point. I think you managed it. I don't know if it was Monday. It might have been Monday before. I think you managed it with like seconds, like 6 seconds to spare. I think it was Vegas. So you timed it absolutely perfectly.
It's something I've started doing in my own private practices, is timing how long it takes me to get around a lap at cruising speed to warm the tyres up.
Invaluable. I think that's a really, really good way of doing it. Dino improves by 2/10 up to 8, so a really good lap from him. But yeah, it's a really good thing to look at, and it's something I do panic with. Sometimes I tend to go out a bit earlier than I would like for my last run, because I do my first run and then realise I've lost 8 minutes of the session. And I'm thinking, how? Already?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Sort of like you're doing a little bit of fiddling around, thinking about other things, and suddenly half the session's disappeared.
Yeah. Yeah, you go out, you think you put your setup on, have a go, and then you come back and you think, well, where's my time gone already? And you don't realise how quickly it disappears, that time. And like you say, I tend to have quite slow in-laps as well to save the tyres, because you never know what's going to happen in the race. You may need those tyres again. So exactly. To try not to use any life, if possible, on the in-laps as well. And I think that just kills my timing a little bit. I'm glad we're not put to the max lap delta.
The funny thing was, I was actually about to make a similar point, because I just watched Connor invalidate and then carry on round and finish the lap, which means that by the time he gets back to the pits, those tyres are going to have an extra lap of AI wear on them. Or actually, no, they're not going to be AI, they're going to be his wear, because he's driving it at the moment. But if I'd have bought it, I would always pit in straight away.
Yeah.
And also, I never let the AI do a lap, because the AI puts enormous wear on your tyres.
Oh, Scotty! Wow, he got away with that. He got damaged, but he was up on his time, pushing so hard through the final sector, and hits the wall. Airways he's on a lap as well. Let's keep on with Airways. But you're right, I do that. I try not to go out so late that, yes, the AI has a lap on it, because you're right, it suddenly starts going full pelt.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of stands in it's a bit contrary to what I was saying about trying to do a lap as the flag falls sort of thing. But I always make sure that on the previous runs, I conserve tyres. So I've got one set I pretty much know is going to go in the bin. But if I do need to have like a used set of softs, they've only got a minimum amount of wear on them.
Yeah, exactly. And I think usually anything under 4 or 5%, it's not that bad.
Yeah, well, I mean, the funny thing was, on Monday, I set my fastest time on a second run on the same set of tyres.
Wow.
So, yeah, it was it was a bit of a weird one, because I kind of thought the tyre wear here was pretty bad, but obviously must have got something horribly wrong in my first run, I guess. But, yeah, and then messed up my third anyway.
Oh, nightmare. But there we are. Aldrich Fabian sets the banker, retired from the session coming out the pits, and takes pole position. I bet you're surprised by that one. Wookie in second. Great qualifying qualifying in third. Scotty in fourth, potentially could have been up there. He's unfortunately had that moment. Airways is in fifth as well, and there's the man on board. Connor in sixth, ahead of the new boy, Valentine, in seventh place, and we'll come to the rest of the grid. Here it is. So Valentine in seventh, as we mentioned. Dino, and I think it's his first tier 3 race, in eighth. Haggerboy in ninth. Muds Nuts rounds out the top 10. Then Stoob, J-Mo, Winky, Antox, Smith F1, Smoggy Ghost, Geke Matthew, and Gillette in 18th. Man and Triz did not set a lap time. They may have had qualifying bans, actually not 100%, but they have not set a lap time. They will line up 19th and 20th.
Just whilst we're having a quick break, if anyone is listening and can hear really big crackling happening on the stream, let us know, because I'm hearing a lot of crackling in my headset.
I hear a little bit from yourself, but not a huge amount. It's only occasionally.
Okay, well, I'm not sure where that is, unless this ancient PS4 is starting to die.
Oh dear. So, a dusk start. Set their strategies, which tyres they're going to use for this race. I didn't think the hards felt too bad in the couple of laps that I did with them. Didn't go well on Friday, and then I thought I had internet issues on Monday evening, couldn't race. I was gutted. Really was looking forward to this one, a track I've always liked, but didn't get a chance to race it. But so I haven't actually got any kind of experience, shall we say, from this game and racing around here, of how the tyres kind of last and how they feel.
The tyres wear all right. I found you could do a lot of laps on the tyres here, actually. They got slower, but they didn't get too inconsistent. But having said that, it's still easy to sort of make mistakes as the tyres do wear, especially if you've got sort of a front bias setup as well. If you've got a lot of got a very pointy nose, I found that sector 3, as the tyres wore, started getting a little bit lively.
Yeah, with the off camber as well, and the rear gets a little bit light. And
it's the exit of, what is it, 14? That's got that horrible off camber on throttle exit.
Yes, it is. Yeah, definitely. Yes, it is 14. You're right. Yeah, under the hotel. A lot of people. There's only 4 drivers have chosen the hard tyres. Everybody else is on the mediums. So that's quite interesting to see how that's going to play out. So we'll keep our eye on Airways, Dino, Nuts, and Smith, see how they go in the opening stages, especially getting those tyres warmed up and getting the grip into them, and see if they get bogged down or if they're able to keep it and maintain it. Pardon me.
Just to confirm, by the way, Man and Triz both did have qualifying bans for tonight.
That explains a lot. Nuts has somehow managed to disqualify himself. Not good at all, especially when we've mentioned, colder temperatures for the evening races. That means you really got to use the formation laps wisely to get as much temperature into the tyres as possible. It will hamper you massively at the start of the race.
Yeah, I mean, I found that it's not the easiest track to get the tyre temperature into them initially, but if you're not quite there on the setup, especially if you have not been practicing and you have not done long runs on full tanks, you will be alarmed by how high your tyre temperatures suddenly go. I found that it wasn't until you got about 10 laps in, suddenly the tyre temperatures peaked and don't come back down again. So if you've only done TT practice or very short little practice runs, and you think you've got a good setup, but you've got your tyre pressures wrong, you may be in for a shock.
That's something we're going to keep our eyes out for as the race progresses. Got a good view back up the grid as the drivers line up, and there is Triz.
Wookie's very aggressive on the line there, isn't he?
He really is, isn't he? Aldrich Fabian. But here we go, folks, for the final time in Tier 3 in 2023. We have now got 4 red lights, 5 red lights, and we will go racing, and it's an even start. There's cars left, right and centre at the back. Good start though from Avinash as well. He's already alongside Wookie, has to bail out on the outside, but all clean. Further back, Scotty got a good start. Valentine got a fantastic start, up into 5th already. What a start from him. Airways succumbed to that. Dino's got past Connor, who's had a poor start. Stube as well, up 2 spots. Smith, lightning start, up 4 spots as we speak, and Valentine's having a quick look at Scotty already.
Oh, a Red Bull round.
Oh no, and that is going to be Winky, unfortunately. Valentine using all of his ERS as he powers down the first of the straights and gets that place up into 4th already. What a start from the newcomer.
Yeah, he's obviously one to watch. We'll see whether he's in the right tier soon enough, won't we?
We certainly will. We will, and we'll see if he's taken tips from Chris Bailey and a certain Mr. Redcar Rambo of his ERS usage as well.
Yeah, it's a track which is quite hard to recover energy.
There's kind of a few lighter braking zones and not a lot of heavy ones other than into the chicane at turn 6. But other than that, it's quite light, isn't it? I've been told to leave Ryan's ERS alone as well already. I knew he was in the chat.
I think the person that needs to leave Ryan's ERS alone is Ryan.
So, top 3, as you were. Valentine all over the back of Avinash as well. We've got a safety car.
I'm guessing that's Geke Matthew. He's way off the back.
Geke is, but also I think Antox had a moment outside of the last corner. He is missing a front wing as well, the Mercedes man. Get rid of that position change. And Geke, no, he's gone on. He's still continued though.
Yeah, maybe he's had a spin somewhere in that lap or got involved in something unfortunate. But obviously he'll be glad to see a safety car come out.
Yeah, he will get him straight on the back.
So, there's quite a lot of position changes there, isn't there? Obviously, the big losers are Winky down 5, and we've got Antoxa down 5 as well. Haggerboy, Geke, and J Moore are all down 3. But as we've already said, Valentine is up 3.
Yep.
Smith is up 4. We've got a couple of people further down who are up 5. So there's quite a big change from that start, just in that first 4 laps.
Yeah, there is. It really is. It's and this is one when we saw it in MRCX with the couple of top guys that were racing hard, and there only seems to really be 2, well, mainly really 1 overtaking spot, and that is that DRS down into turn 6. Don't really see anything else. If you get a good run from 7, you may have a go into the hairpin, but otherwise, you've kind of stuck behind somebody all the way through.
Yeah, I mean, you can do it. You can do moves into turn 1 if you've got a bit of a tyre advantage, and the other way of doing it is obviously with the not really sure what they call it, that parabolic corner, which I guess is turn 8, is it?
Or turn 9, yeah.
You can do some quite interesting things around there. You can run out wide and then switch back and come back up the inside and get on the throttle earlier, which was something I managed to do a couple of times, not really realising I was doing it, thinking, oh dear, I've run a bit wide. Oh, actually, I can get on the throttle, and they've not been able to.
Yeah. So we saw a few people keep that wide line as well, didn't we? Carry the speed through and even make moves on the outside. So, yeah, like you say, there's a few options, and some people even just send it down the inside and kind of block that apex off.
Quite hard to do that unless you've got someone very cooperative and you've got fully alongside. It's a very easy place to tip someone into a spin.
It is.
Which obviously we don't want.
No, definitely not. So a few drivers further down did pit. Haggerboy, Winky and Antoxa all pitted. So either trying to get rid of... let's have a quick look and see what tyres they went on. So Antox went on the softs, Haggerboy and Winky on the hard, Smoggy Ghost on another set of mediums.
I think Antoxa fancies himself as having more pace than he's been able to display, probably.
Yeah, and it wouldn't surprise me that he did either. I think
so. He's probably slapped on a set of softs to make a bit of progress up the pack. Don't know whether he's got another set of softs if there's a late safety car, mind you. That's always a consideration.
It is, yeah. Maybe then go to a set of hards, try and take those quite long, and then hopefully he'll be able to. As Connor's decided to pit, interestingly.
Has he? Let me have a look. I'll watch what he's doing.
Yeah, you keep an eye on that
there's a
one.
reason for that. Because he's obviously on the medium, so it'd be strange to pit for no reason at this stage. Is he having a wing? He's having a wing.
Oh no! So he may have had a bit of a contact under the safety car and got a warning for it.
Or he had it early on and he's been trying to struggle around with it, but has thought the better of it.
Yeah, potentially, and he's going to catch the back of the pack anyway. So losing out, but he'll be able to go long into this race, and he's gone with the hard compound tyres as well. So yeah, he's hopefully looking to keep going.
I like the hard tyre here. The hard tyre here, to me, feels almost identical to the medium, but it just carries on for longer.
Yeah, I think I find the medium just a...
Winky's spun under the safety car. He's just dropped to the back.
Oh, he has.
I was just watching Connor driving up to the back of the pack, and he went past the Red Bull facing the wrong way.
Ah. So how he's managed that. Shaver and Smith sort of trading places, but all good there. So imagine the safety car coming at the end of this lap.
They'll get the message. The message comes just after this corner normally.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, there we go. Yep.
Already. So, and this is going to be one that is going to, well, it helps everybody in terms of longevity, but it doesn't help. Well, it helps Aldrich Fabian probably more because it's another couple of laps before the DRS becomes available. So he's going to be saved a little bit. Ooh, that was a little bit close. Valentine nearly in the back of Avinash. Had to take a void in action, and he's actually clipped him and has got a 5-second penalty with the pack being that slow. Caught him out a lot. That may get looked at later on in the stewards, because sometimes you can just miss the car but still get the penalty, so we'll maybe have a look at that one later on. But Aldrich Fabian now, when does he hammer down safety car? Well in the pits now, and he does go away before the second to last corner. Caught Wookie napping just a little bit, but has he got the heat? Lord of... Ooh, that was a bit twitchy as well, coming out the final corner. Valentine's got Scotty all over the back of him, but the top two dropped Avinash slightly. Avinash just been... Oh, Jim Moores had to pit. So wondering that carnage, he's got front wing damage as well. That is just nightmare for the other Alpine.
There was a bit of concertinaing under the safety car. I think a couple of people got caught out. Thought they genuinely did go, and a couple of people had second thoughts about whether it was going, I think, and braked again.
Oh, nightmare. It's not. It is tougher further down the back as Fabian's trying to go defensive and break the slipstream from Wookie, but Wookie doesn't seem to have that straight line speed. Dino and Stube swapping places as well, both Alfa Romeos. Stube having to get out of it, but he's left himself vulnerable to Mutz. Nuts, who's had a little bit of a look, can't do anything about it. Mutz on the hard tyres, and Stube will have the heat back into the mediums a lot quicker and sooner. But Valentine's dropped off the back of Avinash. As it stands, maybe a little bit of defending. Ooh, Avinash gets a little bit sideways as well on the exit of turn 9. That is not a place you want to have the rear of the car sliding.
No. Well, to be honest with you, around here, nowhere is somewhere you want to have the rear of the car sliding. I mean, it's so easy to lose the back of the car here. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, I think the majority of retirements that were happening in the previous races this week were up the hill after turn 1.
Yeah, I did that on Friday. I just took too much of the inside curb turn 2, as I think that Smith slowed down. He may have passed Shaver kind of offline or off track and has let him back through. Not sure, but if it was, then that's brilliant sportsmanship. Let's have a quick scoot up. He is on the inside. Oh, that was close. I think there might have been contact. Was the contact?
There was just a tapette.
Yeah, so, and that is a safety car again. Oh, I think that's Antox's DNF. Antox, and you mentioned up the hill, he's outside of turn 3.
Yeah, that's basically where I went on Monday.
Yeah, I went turn 2 and car heavy fuel bottomed out, and I was in a wall. Well, we had a little bit of racing.
I think we need some safety car chat, Mark.
I think we do. I think we need a little bit. So let's have a quick look. Obviously, there's a lot of history around the Yas Marina circuit. Less said about 2 years ago, the better. So we'll ignore that.
I don't think there was a race that year, was there?
No, I don't think so. I think it was null and void. I do believe.
Yeah, I think that was right. I think the FIA decided to apply the rule book correctly retrospectively and cancel the result, as far as I remember.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. But the interesting bit is when did he? Yeah, we do. We've got Valentine's deciding to pit him. Wonder if he got a little bit of wing damage when if he touched the back of Avinash. We'll keep an eye on that. So this came in 2009, the first Twilight race in F1. And then we started having it as the final race of the season. And in the first 3 of the 4 races, the pole sitter did not finish any of those races.
That was just a tyre shop for Valentine, by the way.
Okay. Connor's pitted again as well.
Yeah, I find this track ultimately generally creates pretty boring races.
It can.
Occasionally something more interesting happens. I don't know. I think as a final race of the season, it's pretty dull.
I mean, if they had it somewhere like Brazil
or Australia, used to have the last round as well at one point, didn't it? So
yeah, it did. Yeah, they used to have the first and last, didn't it? At one point. I think they finished at Adelaide and then went straight, and Melbourne was the first race, I think.
That was the year that it changed over, yes.
Yeah.
So the final year where they had it in Adelaide was... oh, God, what year was that?
I'm trying to think now.
Oh, my word. Literally, I haven't got there yet. I'm literally watching my way through the 90s over the winter. So I'm currently... I've just started 1993. And I think it's still Adelaide. I think Adelaide is there until obviously Damon's robbed victory was Adelaide.
Yep.
So
that was 94. There we go. Mark's brought it up.
So yes, I was just working my way through that. There you go.
Yeah, there it is. And I was doing the same maths. I was thinking, so it might have been the year after. So yeah, 95 to 96 was the last, and then the first race. So I think, yeah. I mean, I like the track. I like to drive it and race it. It's not always one for overtaking, but I quite like it. I like the old layout. But there we are.
But so it just goes to show how little there is to say about this track that you end up talking about another track.
It does a little bit, doesn't it? It does.
Let's talk about this track. Yeah, Australia then.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I mean, obviously, there's obviously been some contentious things that have happened here, like Lewis trying to back Rosberg up into the pack to get him overtaken. That was an interesting one.
There was that one, yeah. Even though he had engine problems, I think it was, and decided he was going to stay out, was, I think, the only time I had respect for the man, without him crying. But we'll move on from that one as well a little bit. We met the backstraight that the drivers are on now. Second backstraight. It's one of the longest in F1, and it is. But you're on power for 69. And that's, I mean, it's one of those that, especially with that sector that you were talking about you on and off throttle, and it's not quite full power, keeping the momentum of the grip as well. It's quite a high amount. Well, it's quite high. You've actually on throttle for that long.
I'm just listening to the stream without my headset on, and your connection is definitely crackling quite badly. I don't know if you're manually plugged in. It's worth unplugging and plugging back in again.
I'm not actually. I'm actually wireless.
Okay.
I'm not.
Yeah.
It could be my voice is gone.
Yeah, I was struggling to hear you at all just then.
Oh, not good.
Unless you're getting a flat battery.
No, fully charged.
Oh, don't do that to me. I can't. Yeah, don't leave me here on my own. I'll cry.
I wouldn't do that to you.
Safety car is just coming in.
It is, and it's a little bit calmer. Ash behind him after that pass he did on the two came together. He's gone a little bit later this time as Fabian. He goes just before the final corner and gets the hammer down. It's all kind of line. I'm getting a bit of crackling about the sound as well. I've just heard it.
Yeah, you completely disappeared. Couldn't hear a word for the last 30 seconds.
Of course, Masters and the signal in the lobby straight in it. Not ideal. Oh, Man's had a moment. Man's gone into turn 3. Oh, that's a nightmare for him. But managed to keep on going. Avinash is already alongside Aldrich Fabian. That's very, very, very close. Don't forget the tractors as well, but he gets the move done into turn 6. Takes the lead.
Aldrich got a very nasty lumpy bump over the exit curve of 6 there as well. That was that won't help his straight line speed down here.
No, he couldn't.
Has allowed Avinash to immediately extend to 7/10 in just in one straight, and Wookie's all over the back of him now.
Yep, Scotty as well, all over the back of Airways. That battle, Airways on the hard tyres, so he's going to be loving that at the minute. Especially the fact he can see the guys ahead. He wants to try to get that gap to under a second, 1.1 as it stands. And then, of course, the 2. Oh, Dino's got a penalty, and he did just saw in the background. I was about to come to him. He's got his teammate all up his chuff. And speaking of chuffs, he's down in 15th behind Jay Moore. Valentine.
The 2 Alphas are going wheel to wheel. Geke.
By lap.
I think that was Geke that's caused that.
It is.
I think he went on pit entrance, or maybe he span into the outside of the pit wall out of the final corner. But it looked like it was in that area anyway.
Yeah, I was trying to work out and I couldn't see myself where it was. So that's unlucky for the Dutchman.
So we're onto our 3rd safety car in 10 laps. I mean, how many actual laps have we had so far? 2?
Something like that.
Ooh, just watched Stube nearly rear-end his teammate there. Had a very close look at his gearbox.
Yeah, I think that's a battle that's going to go on for quite a long time, that one, this evening. That's going to be really interesting to see how that goes. I mean, difference of tyres as well. So, nearly it happened again. So it's going to be interesting to see if anybody decides to pit. Winky Man pitted, but it seems...
If you're on the mediums, you've got to be thinking about it, surely.
You would think it's the best time to. Yes, you will have a lot of wear because of the amount of safety car laps you've had. As funny enough, I don't know if they're listening, but they have pitted. Aldrich Fabian's got 3 seconds, and I think that's a bit of a strange one because he was coming in the pits. I think we saw that on tier 1, maybe? Someone got a 3-second penalty and a warning for coming into the pit lane.
Well, it is. There's quite a wide pit apron, isn't there? And you can actually get the whole car over the white line there if you're not careful.
Yeah, it's a strange one, isn't it? It does read it differently. It happened to me a few times in the practice sessions, and it's a strange one of how it reads where you are on track. It is. So on the hard tyre, Dino have not pitted.
I'm staggered that Jay Moore hasn't pitted, to be honest with you. I think Jay Moore's probably going to regret that quite soon because those tyres won't have a lot of life left in them.
Yeah, he's on the soft, isn't he? So, I mean, if he can keep them going, he's done more laps under the safety car than we have racing laps. So you may only have, I don't know, maybe 8% wear on them, maybe a bit more. If you can do maybe 1% a lap under safety car, then you get the heat in a lot quicker, a lot easier, of course. So potentially, yeah, potentially he might be okay, but he's going to be under pressure from people like your Avinash, your Aldrich Fabian's Wookie, because they're pitted. They don't need to pit again. Let's have a quick look at those tyres. I mean, pitted again, of course, in the last safety car. Finds himself in 7th. But
I just think if you're on a 10-lap old hard here, you want to get off it, really. We've had 3 safety cars in 10 laps. The chances are there's going to be a safety car again later as well. So either they're thinking, well, I'll wait till the next one, or they're hoping that they're going to have enough tyre life to maybe slap on some very fresh tyres late in the race.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, Stu's put another set of mediums on, so he could be looking. I think Jim has actually pitted now. He has. But so Stu's gone for mediums. He's maybe looking at that potential to stop for the next safety car. And if he's got another set of stops available, that might be interesting later on. But we don't really get about 4 safety cars, and then it refuses to come back out again. So
yeah,
it's a risk.
That is true.
It is a risk that he's going to take. I mean, Connor's been in the pits 3 times. I know he pitted for the hards, then he pitted again and pitted again. But I'll tell you what, Smith hasn't pitted. Of course, ahead of him, Smith, Mutz, Nuts, Dino and Airways haven't pitted. Smith found himself up 11 spots due to all that.
Yeah, I think I would feel uncomfortable at this stage about being on a pretty worn hard tyre with everyone else behind me being on anything else that's fresh, basically. I mean, those hards will do a lot of laps, but they will go slower and slower and slower. You know, every lap they're out there for. I mean, sure, they've not done a lot of racing laps, but the guys that are on fresh tyres are going to be going quicker. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, I think Valentine as well, he's only done kind of 1 racing lap on those hard tyres. So he's only on 4 laps, well, 5 now. That's not too bad either. So I wouldn't discount him on that one because they're not that worn. But yeah, you're right, with the top 4 potentially it's going to be a little bit difficult for them. And now Airways backs the pack up a little bit. Starts to let the safety car move into the distance. And this is going to be the bit, of course, with the wear on those hards, as you mentioned. Not just the grips is going to be diminished, but to get the heat back into them and the feeling back into them as well. This is going to be a very difficult restart, I'd imagine, for the top few drivers, but we'll wait and see. Don't forget, folks, hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed already, ring the bell. We are going for our Christmas break, but there will be races, of course, I'm sure, in the mid-season break. And Airways has gone before the final corner. Did he catch Dino napping? He did a little bit, but I tell you what, didn't catch much nut snapping. And I tell you another thing, Valentine got the safety car nailed absolutely down to a T. He's having a look into turn 1 on Smith. Smith leaves him plenty of room, decides to run wide. Valentine did leave him plenty of room, however, but Valentine gets that place, and that's the fresher tyres, and he got the jump ready absolutely perfectly. And up into 4th, important, but Connor's having another look at Smith on the inside, decides against it, but Smith's gone wide. There's a few cars, I think that was Valentine had a moment as well. Connor's got a better exit, but so Smith using some of that ERS. Connor's trying to get the slipstream off Valentine down the main strip. Valentine's moved to the right hand side, open the door. Connor's trying to have a look on the inside of Valentine as well. Is he going for the next move? He is. Where is Valentine? There he is, inside of turn 7. Oh, there's a wheel bang. Connor's had to go off track as he lost a place to Smith. He has. Smith got the drive back as well. He's got Avinash for company, and Avinash now, this is nearly 4 of them.
I've just been watching everyone on the fresh tyres just eat into the lead of the people of them. The traction difference is stupendous.
It was. Avinash has just jumped Connor and Smith in no time whatsoever. Aldrich managed to stay ahead, but Avinash, a man on a mission, and Connor's going to be fighting his way back through as well. but that gap out front, 1.7 seconds there is to Dino, who's got a little bit further back for Valentine, closing ever more, but Avinash is going to have a look at Valentine, he's going to have a look at the turn one, he's not this time round, thinks against it.
This was where the traction difference was obvious, was up this hill. It looked like Avinash was almost lifting off on the last lap to stay behind through here.
Yeah, we've seen Aldrich Fabian get through Smith. Stubbs having to go through Hagerboy. Stubb on the mediums, don't forget as well. Valentine had to kind of avoid the back of Mutsnuts, but does he get the drive? He does. He's got reasonably fresh tyres, don't forget, but Avinash even fresher. Avinash just sitting...
Did you just call him Hagerboy?
I don't really know what I call it. I think I tried to say Hagerboy and a half got my words gone again. Oh, Valentine got the move done, but nearly lost it between 6 and 7. Up into third, the man is flying, but you're right about the traction. Avinash on Mutt's Nuts gets the move done under traction, but we're going to go up to Valentine, who's now trying to go on the outside into turn 9. Leaves him, there's a wheel bang from Dino. And Dino's gone round.
He has.
There was room on the inside, but that wheel bang...
Got 3 wide into turn 12, that was scary.
Oh, and Hagerboy is out, and there is another safety car.
Oh dear.
We've had one racing lap. 1.5.
Yeah. So, think of anything else exciting to say about this circuit, Mark? I really like Canada.
So Silverstone soon.
Oh dear. Yeah. I remember, I think that the most interesting fact I can think of is the main person responsible for reshaping this circuit is not a high-end F1 driver. Do you know who it was?
No, I don't actually.
I'll give you a clue. He is on the Sky F1 team.
Well, Anthony Davidson was part of it.
No, I said Anthony Davidson has had flashes of being a fairly decent driver.
Well, fair. Karoon.
Yes, Karoon Chandok helped redesign this track. Yeah.
Yeah, I like his analysis. I like him on the Skypad.
I do. He's also got legs like tree trunks. Have you ever noticed that?
He is really well built, isn't he?
He's built like a garden gnome. He just needs a fishing rod.
Yeah, and a pointy hat.
Weekends with a fishing rod.
Yeah, just a pointy hat as well to go with it.
I don't think you can say that, Mark. I think that might be hattist. Yeah, no, apparently he was quite heavily involved in the reprofiling of this circuit.
Okay.
And I can kind of see where they're coming from with it, but...
it just doesn't work for me.
Well, the thing is that they're redesigning tracks to fit the cars, not redesigning the cars to fit the tracks. That's kind of what's been going on gradually, isn't it? So yeah. Things that are getting reprofiled are generally opening things up, making less slow corners, more medium speed corners.
Which then doesn't promote overtaking because they're all running such high downforce with ground effect and how grippy the tyres are that no one can get through in those corners unless you've got a good run on them, and drivers are looking for the easy overtakes with the width and the length of the cars now, and the tracks aren't lending themselves to, as you said, the cars.
No, well, I mean, at least 2026 they have committed to making the cars a little bit smaller. The wheelbases are going to be shorter and they're going to be lighter as well. Not massively, but a bit, which will be the first time in many years where it hasn't gone the other way.
Yeah.
Every single rule tweak has increased the weight of the cars over the past decade or two. Well, more than that, really. I mean, if you look at the size of the cars from the 90s, they are staggeringly small compared to these things. Yeah,
they are. They're absolutely tiny, aren't they? You see them side by side, and now you look at them, the complexity of Formula One cars. I know, obviously, technology is just exploded massively, but you look at the simplicity of the front wings. There's not as many turning. The floor was simple, and And a lot more down to the driver, where now they've got that many aids. You can put, well, we've seen, this is going to sound bad, but some of the drivers that you wouldn't necessarily rate as top drivers become top 10, top 5 results on some tracks because the car is suited to it.
Yeah, but I think you could equally argue that there are very few drivers in F1 who aren't worth their salt these days. Whereas,
definitely not taking that away.
Even if you go back 10 years, there were a lot of people on the grid who were not deserving of it. Whereas now, even the people that aren't favoured, they're not bad, really. They've earned their seats at some stage.
Yeah, they have. Yeah, and that's down to when they had about, the people didn't make the cut-off time, for example, and couldn't race.
Safety car is about to come in.
Yes, Avanas hasn't backed up the pack, but he does go before the final corner. Nothing, not really, but I'll tell you one thing, he's got company. And now after pit stops, these guys were up the top end as well. Stoops found himself in 5th as well after his pit stop, and he was in the mediums, don't forget. So his progress is going to be really interesting to see what he can do. But quite quickly, Fabian went, I don't know if that was a pitch, I hope it was kind of a bit of lag because that was very, very sideways over the top of the hill.
I'm pretty sure. He might have just caught it too quickly. I think exit of. I don't know what turn that is. What turn is that? 5.
Yep, I think he did, and had to back out of it a little bit. You're right there. These guys dropping. In the 11th seat. Oh, quickly.
Oh, just watch Smoggy Ghost get a massive tank slapper out of turns out of the chicane 6-7.
Yeah, that's allowed Valentine and his teammate Airways. Valentine were battling early on. Now Valentine back in the top 10. Winky's found himself in 8th, and Triz as well. Mr. Gillette. Under the hotel. And we've seen a few drivers do that as well through the final part, through turns 15 and 16. We're now chasing down Avenue.
Just watching Connor getting past. Who's he getting past? He was getting past Nuts. So I'm just watching a Haas run super wide through turn 1 as well.
Wow, we've got Triz and Wookie, and Winky and Shaver and J-Moo and Valentine as well. I think Shaver's just moved out the way for his teammate. He did. Oh, he came back in too quickly and had contact with Airways in the back. Luckily not. Made the move into turn 6 on. Avanash did the same thing. A few laps. Wookie's going to be there to try to pick up the pieces. Valentine's got J-Moo as well now in the break-in. So Valentine, absolute mission. Avanash too. But we actually had any DRS yet? I don't think we've had DRS yet, and we're 18 laps in.
This is true. I was literally about to say the same thing because I was just thinking, is Wookie going to be in DRS soon? And I was thinking, hang on.
There was contact with Fabian. Couldn't get the move done though. That was very, very tight. No damage for Avanash, luckily. But look at the nose to tail. Avanash! Big tank slap out the final corner. That's allowed walking easy overtake into second.
I think Avanash got distracted by the fact that DRS just activated for the first time in 19 laps.
Gillette, that's not the best you can get, mate. You're in the pits. Stoob having a look at Scotty. He's going to wait for this DRS now. But I tell you one thing, is Wookie going to be vulnerable? Has he got the DRS? He does not. He's gone defensive. Avanash has finally. I've not seen that wing open any F1 car. And look at Stoob as well in the background. Can Avanash do anything? He can't. He backs out of it. Stoob, no such. Look. But Scotty on the inside, so they're both going to have it again. My voice is definitely going. Man's retired from the session. So Smoggy goes. That was in a straight line.
And we have the 5th safety car.
We just got DRS.
So they've just proven that you can have more than 4. Thank you. And also, they obviously realised that DRS was on, and we don't like that. So let's switch it off again.
As Shaver on board with him didn't look at the now he has looked at the Delta. That's unlucky for a drive-through penalty. So now I wonder if anyone's going to pit 10 laps to go. If you've got another set of medium, could be interesting.
I'd be tempted to stick on some softs right now.
I haven't actually pitted. Scotty pits, Stu pits. Two drivers are.
I just think with we've got another couple of laps under the safety car. That only leaves 8 racing laps, doesn't it? Probably no more safety cars. Softs, light tanks, probably all right to the end. Yeah, in fact, quite a few people are doing that. Yep.
Yeah, Stu has. Well, he had to use something different from the 2 sets of mediums he's used. This could be really great from Stu because he's had 2 sets of mediums, got himself up there, and now on the set of soft tyres, Avinash has put the mediums on. So that's also going to be interesting. Maybe he doesn't. Well, either he doesn't have a fresh set of softs, or he doesn't think they're going to work.
It's also a safe bet, isn't it? I mean, they're going to be pretty for the remaining laps. If there is no more safety cars, which we thought there was going to be no more than 4, now we're on number 5, so who knows? But if there's no more safety cars, then he can push harder for longer. The softs will be quicker for the first few of those laps, but maybe over that last 8 laps or so, the performance differential won't be that great because the mediums will keep on pushing.
Yeah, and Smith has got damage. He got a 5-second penalty for a collision with Dino under that safety car. I think it was through 6 and 7. He's got front wing damage. Let's have a quick look at those penalties. 3 seconds for Fabian. I think that was the one at the pit lane. One's Dino with 3, Smith with 5. After that, Connor with 3 seconds as well. And we've got the drive-through penalty. So I'm still wondering if, excuse me, that any of these front runners, I know the pack's now bunched, but we've seen that some people are pitting on the second lap behind the safety car, and I wonder if any of the leaders will do it, knowing that they'll be at the back of the pack, but fresh tyres.
It's a lot of positions to lose with not a lot of laps left, though, isn't it? There's a lot of work to do in that.
Yeah, and if they've got the full map up, they'll know that. And I think, no one is pitting. Oh, no, there is. I mean, that's Smitty. He had the front wing damage, unfortunately.
I was about to say that the biggest winner we've got right now is Winky, who is up 9. But let's bear in mind that at one point was dead last.
And backwards under the safety car, the first safety car, I think. Yeah.
However, he is currently on a set of mediums which have got 11 laps on them.
Yeah, so they may not feel great.
He's probably praying they're going to go to the end. They might do.
Yeah, I think they could. We've had a few safety cars, so to say the least. Yeah, they could.
It's going to be quite squeaky bum time, I think, towards the end.
And the same thing happens here. The mediums don't like numerous heat cycles.
Yeah. I mean, it's what's interesting is because it's been so interrupted this race by safety cars. Is that that tyre temperature peaking that I was talking about early on won't have been happening?
Yeah.
Because it needs, like I say, I think between 8 and 10 laps they start getting very, very hot if you've got a high pressure setup. I was actually struggling. I was, as you know, because I asked you about this on Monday. I said to you, I'm really, really struggling. I don't know what to do. My setup feels terrible. And what I did was change the tyre pressures. Literally dropped them to minimal pressures, and it transformed the car completely.
It is amazing how much that makes a difference, isn't it? And I've done that a few times as well, being close to a setup, not quite sure what's needed, and just drop the temps just 1 or 2 clicks. and the understeer is gone. The oversteer, the twitchiness is gone. Oh, Valentine's hit the back of Wookie, and he's got 5 seconds. Hopefully he hasn't got any damage. Doesn't look like it on the AlphaTauri. What safety car's going in? When is Aldrin Fabian going to go? Is he going to go in his favourite spot? He certainly is. As he caught Wookie napping, he did. It's all clean. We've got airways all at the back of JMO at the back as well. There's a few fights going to happen. Of course, the fresher tyre winners, look at Avinash, Scotty, Stoob, Trace, Connor and the rest are going to be interested to see what they can do. But even Valentine, he's done 7 laps on those mediums. They may be okay.
Yeah, out of the medium runners, the guys who are on part worn sort of 7-lap old tyres are the ones who are going to be okay to the end for sure. Like I say, I think Winky may find himself losing positions towards the end of this part of the race.
Yeah, but look at this. Whoa, look at this further down. Sorry, Airways on the inside of Jimmo. Mudslow's Avinash is in the middle of that with Dino as well. He's trying to make that move. Dino trying to go on the outside. He's been hit! Avinash has been hit and he's spun. And now find himself at the back on the exit 7. Luckily, didn't really get any damage. Managed to get the car flipped round. I think Stu may have been caught in that as well a little bit. Not sure who, potentially it was. And you mentioned about Wookie struggling with the tyres. He's now dropped 2 seconds nearly off the back of this top 3.
I think Avinash is going to be swearing in that helmet right now.
Yeah, I think he is. I think he will. He had a big shot. He's trying to get past Dino, and I think Dino was okay with Dino. I think when we jumped on board, I think he got hit for time. Not 100%, but I think that looked like it was happening. Dino was okay. I think he was okay. I think it was just enough room. They were very close in that section, but it was alright. I'm not sure who it could have been. There was about 5 cars in the mix. Found himself ahead of Scotty Airways now. Has got past Winky, and you mentioned he's going to struggle with the tyres, and he is. That gap over 3 seconds already.
So I think Wookie's just playing the long game here. He doesn't have to work that hard. He can win the championship just by driving around the track at the moment.
Well, that is true, actually. Yeah.
And also, though we've only had DRS for 1 lap in the last 23,
Monaco?
When DRS does eventually activate, you don't really want to be sat at the front of that DRS, in front of people who are armed with DRS when you're not. You're super exposed at this track.
Yeah, right. Stoob battling with Trez. Trez hit the outside and was forced off track. But all okay. But I mean, is now. Oh, look at that! We've got DRS. Stoob takes a different line.
I think Wookie's going to be vulnerable to Valentine down to turn 6 here.
Yeah, we've cut back up to that, and I'm not sure who's battling further down there. That's a lot of people. Jim Moore, Scotty, Winky, all involved in that. Jim Moore has had a moment somewhere and dropped off the back of all of those guys. Now that's allowed Airways. That's a big coming together with a lot of drive. That was 5th down to 14th. All bunched together, and there they are going around the hairpin at the far end. Oh, I think that was stupid. Going very sideways, but here's Valentine with the DRS. Gets the move done. Probably the easiest move of the race. I think that is the easiest move we've seen all race, to be honest.
I'm watching down in the midfield, and things are looking a bit scary.
Yeah, we're going to cut back to this. Much Nuts. Oh, trying to get a little twitch on the side. He's battling with Trace. There's somebody off track further back. I'm not sure who that was. Further back, but now Winky's now gone back past Much Nuts. I don't know who to follow, really, to be honest with you, down here.
No, I mean, just worth saying that you can't win a race in a corner, but you can lose it.
Triz, I wonder if that was at 6 and 7, outbreak himself and just continued to go. I wonder if that's where it's come from. Apparently my headset's been crackling as well, much the scream. That doesn't help. I did pause it at one point and hoped it was it sorted itself out. I'll try that again. real quickly, because that sometimes does help. Fingers crossed. But now Winky finds himself in 8th with Mutsnuts all over the back. Avinash is battling with Jimmo, and all of these guys are battling. Not really sure who to focus on. But that gap at the front, less than a second as well.
Valentine is after a win here, isn't he?
He is. He has that 5 seconds, but it's going to be interesting to see what the stewards may make of it. But look at this, Mutsnuts didn't... sorry, it was Winky that didn't get the DRS, but you've also got Connor fighting in there. Winky's trying to keep it on the inside, just about leaves room. He does leave room. Good racing. All fair as well. Well, good position. Well done for Winky. Oh, DRS from a couple of these guys, and now look at this! That's scary! Winky's been absolutely... Two Ferraris. Mutsnuts is battling. Just he definitely made his own line. Now Vanash is the one. There's big contact with Connor. There's a guy in the back as well. Connor's out.
Is it going to do it? Is it going to do it? No. I can't. It can't give us any more. I'm sure it can't now.
I think Smith was caught in it as well. It's not. We've got a green flag.
Yep. So it looks like 5 is the maximum now. There's a new maximum.
There is.
I think it's fair to say that Avinash is currently, in inverted commas, motivated.
He was. I think there was definitely room between Connor very quickly. Yeah. Let's have a quick look at the penalties.
That's what I was just doing myself as well.
3 laps left to go. My voice is definitely gone.
So at the moment, Avinash stands to gain at least 1 place. He could gain 2 if he keeps pushing.
Is cutting the corner, wasn't he? And then got hit under the safety car for a collision, I think it was, with Avinash. No, it was Wookie, sorry, he got that one for. Wookie just needs to stay there, but he's got Airways for company, and Airways always one who wants to get past, always wants to make his way through.
I don't think Wookie's actually flashing right now, so he's actually struggling a little bit for pace tonight, which is very unusual for him.
Yeah, he was there early on. But yeah, he's not fastest when it comes to race pace, and he's been there, but not overall fastest. I think 3rd, right, if that makes sense, for race pace of where he is now, and obviously he's going to be under pressure now massively from Airways, but we're going to cut back to that one because Valentine's going to have a look on the inside of the turn 6, gets the move done. Aldrich tried to cut him off, couldn't do it. And Aldrich takes that. Wookie's battling, there he is, all side by side. Airways has got the better traction, and he gets the move done as well.
He does, and because they battled between 6 and 7, actually Airways got the DRS down the 2nd straight as well, so we got it down both straights. Yeah,
could then use it to defend, but both cars flashing now. Not just Wookie. They've been pushing very, very hard. Aldrich Fabian is going to be trying his best as well. He wants to... I don't know if Aldrich will know why Valentine's got the penalty he's got. If he does... I mean, if he doesn't, sorry, he may just try to keep within that 2-second window, which I think the way Valentine's going could be a tall order in the last 2 laps.
Yeah, I mean, as it stands, Airways is going to win.
Yeah, it is. It is, yeah.
In fact, the top 2 guys are going to be 3rd and 4th, I think, at this rate.
Yeah, I think it's, was in there as well. Avinash is good.
I just watched him do that. Oh, no.
I like to say it's not just us that do the commentator curse.
I just watched him. He took that wide line out of that entry into the first straight, where you might want to try to straighten the car up to get a better exit, and it's quite easy to run outside track limits when you do that, and that's exactly what he did.
Oh, nightmare. Absolute nightmare. Airways also on a charge. I think Airways looks like he's got the pace at this point.
Yeah, he's catching.
He really is. Valentine. Oh! Wow, did he keep that?
Blimey. I wonder whether it smells in his cockpit right now.
Maybe. Wow. Lightning reactions.
Oh! Oh no, sorry, my mistake.
I'm there with bated breath right now. Avinash has his stands up the back of Triz, but they've fallen off the back of Scotty, who's really found some pace now and is closing a little bit on Wookie, but 6 extra penalties is not going to really challenge at the end. What can Avinash do? But I'm sure we'll see that major coming together in the collisions that we saw with Avinash, Connor, Smith, and numerous other drivers in the field later on. A lot seemed unlucky, I'd have to say, because of the high-speed nature of how it all happened. But we will see. Airways, is he going to be close enough?
Avinash needs to find just a couple of tenths, and he's going to take the 3 cars in front of him.
Wow.
Sorry, the 2 cars in front of him. He's going to move up above Triz and Scotty.
Yeah, he could do. Yeah, needs about 0.6 of a second, doesn't he? The way it's looking. Airways can't make anything of Aldrich, but he will take the win on track after penalties. Aldrich's tyres are really, really gone, but on track, on his debut, it is takes the win. What a race it has been from him. Absolutely. He'll have a fight to may see it. Airways inherits that win. Aldrich Fabian in second, Valentine, then Wookie in fourth, Scotty in fifth. Triz does lose out to Avinash. Avinash can't make it up to Scotty by 2.5. So he finishes 6th over the line. Much nuts. A good recovery from him. And then Triz in 8th, Jimmo in 9th. Winky gets the final point scoring position. Smith in 11th. And then it was so unlucky for to get the most of it. And then finished across the line. Doob and Dino, the Alpha male drivers, and then Jeva, the finishers in 14th place. Of course, results are preliminary, but potential stewards' inquiries later this evening. Well, that though was entertaining to say the least.
Yeah. It was. Yeah, I mean, the guys at the front, there was some great racing happening at the front there. And there were some people that acquitted themselves very, very well. Some awesome debuts there as well. Yeah,
there was. I think Dino, I think at times was unlucky, but had a lot of pace. And I had some really, really good. We saw some fantastic wheel-to-wheel, especially with Valentine. He had some fantastic battles as well, didn't he? And a lot of pace.
Yeah, he was very pleased with himself as he went across the line. He obviously gave himself a bit of a victory wiggle. Didn't hold on to it in terms of the penalties, but he's got reason to be very hopeful about his outlook in MRC right now.
Yep, 100%, and that's exactly what we want to see. So there we are, preliminary results. Airways take who take first lap. Valentine in third, Wookie in fourth, Scotty fifth, Avinash then Triz, then Jimo and Winky rounding out the points. Then Smith, Stu, Dino and Shaver, the last of the finish. Then we have Connor, Smoggy Ghost, Man, Haggerboy, Gecky Matthew and Toxer as well, unfortunately DNF'd. Mr. Hills, after all of that, other than the safety car, who would be your driver of the day, the final one for 2023?
I think it has to go to our new driver, Valentine, surely. He's not only has he took the race on track. Okay, he had some track limits penalties there. Took the race on track, but he came from 7th as well. So Despite the penalties, obviously he's still got a seriously good first ever race result with us there.
Yeah, I have to agree with you, to be honest with you. I mean, congratulations, of course, to the other drivers, and well done to many of them, and a lot of fantastic racing out there. I have to say as well, I'm going to give it to Valentine as well on his debut. And that, ladies and gents, for 2023 wraps up MRC. Believe it or not.
But there are I keep seeing people saying last race of the season. There are still 3 races left of this season.
There is. Yeah, there are a lot of positions to still be decided. There's a lot of promotions, of course, to be decided as well. A lot of bragging rights. That's the word I was looking for. The bragging rights still waiting to happen as well within teams and between friends as well. So that's still, of course, like I say, 3 races left and a lot still to play for.
There is. Although going into the Christmas break, I think it's fair to say that there are a lot of things being discussed for next season right now.
There is, yeah.
Lots of ideas and thoughts and plans starting to come together, and some interesting things on the horizon, I think. But yes, this last 3 races is where you want to be proving yourself to show that you've got what it takes to move up or stay up. Because we will now be starting to think about who's going where for next season, which, okay, it's still quite a few weeks away, but this is when we start planning.
Yeah, we do, and we will look at those new season plans, as Martin says there, and we'll bring it to everybody in the Discord as well, get your thoughts, get your feelings, and of course involve all of our members with part of that decision process as well. Of course, we want to give back and give you guys what you want as well, as much as we possibly can. So we'll look to that in the coming weeks, so keep your eyes on the Discord, folks. That will come to you very, very soon. But all that's left to say, really, is a thank you to Mr. Hills. Thank you for joining me.
It's been my pleasure. It's been it was a bit of an unexpected last minute switcheroo there. So
we did, yeah.
Yeah, but it's been fun to kind of see out the year with a final team up here.
Yeah. Definitely, and thank you so much. Thank you to everybody who has supported us this year, and thank you all for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed, please do, and check us out on YouTube. Some of our previous races, of course, on there. Thank you, everybody. Have a fantastic Christmas and New Year period. We will have some non-season events as well planned. You will see us become live in the next couple of weeks, and we look forward to seeing you all in the new year. So from the both of us and all of MRC, take it easy, folks. Thank you very much, and good night.